Greetings, grasshoppers. Hello. This is your RJ, and today we're going to talk a little bit about messenger bots. It's my favorite subject. Before we delve in, I will say this. I'm cross posting to many different corners of the internet. So if you look up and you find that you're not on the Black Belt Bots page, then I'm not going to get your questions as they come in. So do me a favor, check to see if you're on the Black Belt Bots page. If you're not, there's a link right above me in the comments. It's the first thing after the title. Click on that link, come on to my page, and I'll be able to see all of your remarks and take all of your questions right here. So with that piece of work done, hello, Jenny Mustafa Julak. How are you? I love you and I need to catch up with you. Thanks for that note. Move to the right place. I know, right? It can get a little bit confusing. David Burrows is here. Barbara is here. Hello, darlings. It is wonderful to see you. So today I want to talk about something that is it's really vital. You know, we talk a lot on this show about crafting the right kind of message in your messenger bot. You know, your messenger bot, for me, it's a place where people can get to know me and my personality, and at the same time I can ask questions and have conversations with people and get a sense of them, their goals, what their personality is, all of that kind of stuff. It's an exchange rather than just sort of a one-way blasty type communication. So we talk a lot about getting that communication right, getting the words right, getting the images right. We talk a lot about, using video in your bot. We talk about a lot of things. But today we're going to talk about one thing, and that is this. Getting the message right is great, but getting the timing of that message right, even better. You see, people have a little bit of trepidation sometimes. Oh, Barb Ireland is here. Desiree's here. Hello. Very good. So Cheryl is here as well. Hello, darling. So how do you get the timing right in the bot? Because when the timing of the messages is a little off, folks, it breaks the illusion right away that you're having a conversation. It really ruins it for people when a message will come up like 3 or 4 or 5 times in a row, or a message is delivered at the wrong time or whatever. So today I'm going to cover a few ways that you can ensure that your messages are being timed correctly. And as always, if you have questions about bots, if you have questions about the timing or anything that I'm saying, please do throw it down in the comments and I will do my best to get at that question. So, all right. Right message, right time. How do you do the second part? There are some certain tech things to set to make sure that you're not delivering messages at wrong times. So we use in bots, I use and my clients use broadcasts a lot. A broadcast is sent to either the whole group of people that you have in your bot, or maybe just targeted certain groups. Like maybe there are people that are taking a certain course of yours right now, or maybe there are people that have subscribed to your live streams, but not everyone has subscribed to them. Or maybe you just want to make a grand announcement that something brand new is happening and you want everybody to be able to jump in on that. So broadcasts are targeted communication. Sometimes that target is wide, sometimes it's very small. And there are certain safeguards to the setting those broadcasts that help so that you don't send a messenger message at 4:30 in the morning to someone and wake them up in the middle of the night. One of my clients had this happen accidentally. It was a friend of his, so no harm done, but wow. So there are a couple of things in ManyChat that will allow you to set times correctly when you're doing your broadcasts. Kim's here. Hey, Tish, good to see you. Lovely to see you today. Hey, thanks for all coming today. You guys are awesome. So there's a couple of tech things that you can make sure when you set those broadcasts, you want them to come in the right time. You can set it so that whenever it hits a certain time in that person's time zone, then the message will send. And all of this is on the broadcast page in ManyChat. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I can certainly maybe make a little video and go through it later. But you want to set it so that it's not coming in the middle of the night. There is one option in there that is not good to choose. When you're sending a broadcast message, never, never choose the time travel method. Don't do this. That method, that little function is kind of half baked within ManyChat. It's just not quite ready for prime time yet, and a lot of people have gotten unexpected results from using that little feature. So don't use the time travel, but you can set messages so that they will come only within certain windows of time, or not past 10 o'clock at night, something like that. Everybody's saying hi to each other. Welcome, family. Oh yeah, that does sound like so much fun. 4:30 a.m. Chatbot wake up call. Wow. My client was not super pleased. He called me up and he's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, don't use time travel." Anyway, there are certain tech things just to make sure that you're staying within the boundaries of people's awake time. It's all very good. One of the things that you can also do is if you think about using keywords to anticipate and answer people's questions ahead of time. Now, here's what I'm talking about. If someone is having kind of a problem within my bot or has a question or something like that, there's a keyword that I have set up in there so that if anybody says my name at any time, the chatbot there's a certain sequence that fires off that says, "Hey, do you have a question? I'll summon RJ if you'd like," that kind of a thing. So what I'm talking about is setting certain keywords to trip off a little bit of a sequence. So for instance, there's a real estate bot that I'm working with right now, and it has certain keywords set up for people who are either in the they want to buy a home. They get a certain sequence. If you type in the word, there are several words there, but they all refer to buying a home. When somebody types something like that in a chatbot, then the buying sequence starts to go. What I really like to do, especially with some of these things, is just to instead of firing off a really long sequence, I like to fire off a little short thing that says, "Hey, I see you're interested in this. Is that right?" Because if somebody types in a word, and English is not a really great language for there's a lot of synonyms and there's a lot of semantics and there's a lot of different meanings for things. So when I've got one of these keyword sequences that I fire off, I like to just say, "Hey, it looks like you're interested in this. Is that correct?" Because if you were in a conversation, you would do the very same thing. Stephen Healy is here. Yes, hello. Franco Squared is in the house, down with the brown in the house. Oh, that's there you go. Very good. Kim says, "Like my bot yesterday that decided to send out an hour after I broadcasted." I know. So I will tell the story, Kim. Kim has a regular show on Wednesdays that comes at the same time. She has a live stream reminder bot set up. I help her set that up, and she's amazing with it. And the for some reason, and we don't know why, ManyChat decided to send it out a full hour after she'd actually scheduled to send it out. So people were getting this show reminder at the very end of her show, which technology's cute, isn't it? Let's just take a second and know that technology is very cute, but sort of glitchy, and sometimes messages just fire off at the wrong time. So for that, and actually I didn't stop back and tell you this yesterday, Kim, but usually when something like that happens with one of my bots, when a timing is clearly off, just clearly off. I will go back and I will make the same broadcast. I will make a broadcast to everybody who just got the message that had some really weird timing, and I will say, hello, this is RJ, not the chatbot, and I just wanted you to know that my chatbot, Spinning Dragon, got a little too chatty last week, and sent you a message that was at the wrong time. Or sometimes I'll say, I apologize for Spinning Dragon. She was, she was just a little too excited, or she was asleep at the switch, or whatever. This is where having kind of that chatbot personality comes into play, because embrace it. The technology is going to have glitches. It's going to send stuff out. You're going to be like, why did this person get this message? Sometimes it'll be because there was a setting in there that you missed. Sometimes it'll be not your fault at all. Having these little messages that kind of bring a little bit of humor to the situation, that's good timing too. That's good communication too. And what you can do is, just play it off because as cool as technology is, it's always going to have little bumps along the road. ManyChat is not different. So I wanted to get to that because I had that thought yesterday, Kim, and I hadn't called you on the phone to tell you yet. So very good. Teresa says, same thing happened to me with your show the other day. You were talking and boom, the window popped up. Oh, I didn't realize that happened. Very good. Yeah, it does happen a little bit. You know what else is cute, RJ? Did you notice the bot queen has adjusted her camera from the rule of thirds and changed her background a bit? Mm-hmm. Kim Boltzma. I did this. I did this because I was so tired. My desk, this is personal stuff now. We're not even talking about butts. My desk was faced the other way. My desk, it's a table. It's like a 3-foot by 8-foot table. So I turned it 90 degrees because I did have a little travel table, little cart on wheels that I was using. And I got so sick of transferring my computer from place to place to place that I just decided to change the arrangement of absolutely everything. So there will be more stuff on the walls soon, people. It's not going to stay blank like that forever, but that totally happened. Anyway, Steven says, turn an incident into an opportunity. Most excellent. See, that's the difference. When Steven's talking about turning incidents into opportunities, if your thing that you have in your mind is uppermost good communication with people, then you'll be able to kind of think past little bumps in the road that happen. If it's strictly a sale mechanism, if it's strictly I'm just using this because it'll be a good funnel because it has a better open rate, I have people to direct you to that might be able to better handle that. But I won't, that's not the kind of work that I'm looking for, because to me, this is a conversation opener. It's a relationship opener. So very good. Anyway, focus on using keywords to anticipate and answer questions. This is one of the hardest this is one of the hardest things sometimes to get people to do as well. And that is, hey, give me your frequently asked questions. Let me see if I can turn it into an opportunity for you to be right there at the right time when people have this question inside your chatbot. Because it doesn't matter what the format, right? People always have questions. And most of the time, I can anticipate and answer those ahead of time because 1 billion people have asked you that question so far. This is something that I've done with frequently asked questions for me, because I know how to answer that question already. And some of the purpose of having a bot is to take the weight off of me having to repeat myself over and over and over again. So think about your frequently asked questions. Think about how you can be there, Johnny or Jane on the spot, answering those questions for people before they even have them. That's the Disneyland experience. I'm using Disneyland because Jenny's in the house. That's the Disneyland experience where you walk in and you feel like your needs are anticipated and your questions are anticipated and that you're in a safe place to maybe, let go for a while and have a little vacation. So anyway, very good. Kim says exactly. If you're already giving these answers away to the common Joe, then it makes great fodder on live video. It absolutely does, and great fodder inside the bot. If you're already answering these questions, that's why I made the 7-day free mini course, because then people can be exposed to not only this is the user experience of, being involved with the bot, but they can also learn at the same time how I made the bot, how those things are constructed, how to make it happen for yourself. Because people ask me that stuff all the time. Some people make it all the way through 7 days and go and launch their own empires, which is great. Some people don't make it all through don't take the course at all, but start a conversation with me instead. So I like to have, without being overwhelming, I like to have those options available for people when they walk in. Hi, would you like to, do this over here, do this over here? Would you like to ask me a question? Being Johnny on the spot with options, but not overwhelming with options. Sometimes it's a little bit of a fine line. Folks want to, either you get folks that are kind of like, I don't know what I should even put in. But then I've also had a few folks who are like, I would like to put the kitchen sink in here and absolutely everything else. Bots are incredibly expandable that way. You can totally put everything in the kitchen sink there. Just put it in a way that will allow people to access it without being overwhelmed with options. That's probably another show. I'll write that down on the show list. Okay, very good. So timing is everything. Here's an example of being able to answer questions as they occur. We'll use this as like an example of some of the keywords that I was talking about. So say one of the things that you're giving away in the one of the pieces of value that you're giving away in the very beginning of the conversations you're having on your bot is a free PDF. Maybe this is, I'll use Jenny as an example. The 4 Hildas. She's written a book about these Hildas, and she is, currently making Hilda a household name. So one of the things she gives away is, a PDF that has some really vital starting information on it. So say you've got one of these PDFs. One of the things that you can do is program into your bot, program it into the keywords that if somebody says PDF, or if somebody says the exact phrase, I didn't get the PDF, or where's the PDF? Think about everything that people might, all the ways in which people might have a question, and then put those as keywords. And you can use key phrases as well. Don't know if I mentioned. Putting those opportunities inside the bot will make it so that whenever people type in a phrase like that, boom, you are Johnny or Jane on the spot with the information. You don't even have to stop your day and go, okay, I'll resend you that thing, because you've already written the sequence that resends them that thing. And how beautiful that kind of an experience can be. This takes a little bit more thought than just constructing your normal sequence. But one of the biggest things in bots is to know and to embrace that people are going to walk outside the main path. They're going to want to burn their own trail. They're going to ask questions. They're going to do things that were unexpected. So how do you handle those moments? Keywords is one of the ways in which you handle those moments. Programming. I say programming. Let me back off on that word. Planning for user experience, that for a user who has a lot of questions and doesn't follow the main path, that can be very, very rewarding for you, because what you're doing is When you are Johnny or Jane on the spot with the right answers to the question and the right information, you're starting to establish trust with someone. What do you need before you have a good relationship with somebody? Trust. We talk about this all the time. When you're trying to teach somebody something, they have to trust you, or else it's just going to fall on deaf ears. Believe me, I've taught college classes. It's true, people. Anyway, in order to have a good relationship, you've got to establish some trust. And with you are Johnny or Jane on the spot with the information, that helps. That just goes a long way. And you weren't even there. You weren't even, present to do that. Your bot took care of all of the automatic delivery of the messages. That can be a really great and rewarding experience. So think about that as you're building your bots as well. Okay. Franco, it's raining love. If I had hearts to drop into the screen right now, I would do it. Very good. So here's a note. And this is something that I have as a reminder on my planning, the stuff that I use for planning. It's a reminder to go back through these little paths that we're talking about today, these little extra things that we're creating. Go back through them every once in a while and make sure that the information still makes sense. So going back to our earlier example, you've got a PDF that you like to drop within the first few steps of any conversation that you're having in your bot. If you change that PDF, you're going to want to change every place that that's connected to. So do think about that. Every once in a while, just grab a broom, go through your entire bot and look for changes that may have been made over here that haven't really been followed through with over here. Because the bot experience can be so great. It can really feel like you're connecting with somebody, but then you reach like a real obvious mistake and it can derail very quickly. So it does pay to think about this stuff ahead of time. Let's see. Barbara says, how do you see who contacts the bot? Great question. So if you're using ManyChat, it's not ManyChat, it's ManyChat. Okay, some people don't know. If you're using ManyChat, there is a section in there called Live Chat. And in that live chat, you'll be able to see who the people are you're talking to. You'll be able to see the entire conversation that your bot or you have been, you'll be able to see the conversation record. You'll also be able to see if this particular user is tagged anything. Like the example I was talking about before with real estate, I'd be able to go in there and see, is this person buying a home or are they selling a home? I'd be able to see all of those tags that kind of tell me a little bit about that person, and I can see where they opted into the bot at. Whether that was, a comment on a post at some point, whether that was the footer I have on my blog is always the same. Click here if you want to experience a bot for yourself. I can tell if people have come in that way. I can tell if people have come in through Facebook. I can tell if people have come in through an email signature. So in the live chat, therein is all of your information so that you can see who people are, where they've come in, and catch up on what has been said in this conversation before. I hope that answers your question. If it doesn't, write me a further one and I will get to it. But that's how you see who has contacted the bot. You can also see this. There's also like an audience view, but it doesn't tell you much. So I always direct people to the live chat view. It just tells you so much more. Very good. Barb says, yeah, like I changed my URL on the talk show page for the live video hub. Can we say not thinking LOL? We can say that. I, of course, don't know what you're talking about. I've never changed a URL and then not followed up in other places. No, I've done that more times than I can possibly express to you right now. So don't feel alone. Very good. Okay, cool. We got Barbara's question in there. So timing is everything in bots. And the reason is, in a regular conversation that I would be sitting down and having with any one of you, timing is something that we automatically, this is something we don't have to think about. It's like blinking or breathing. The choices we make to answer this question and not answer this question yet, or the timing in a conversation, in a real life one, is beyond easy. It's something we don't even have to think about. But if you take the time, think about it, prepare for people going off of the main path, prepare for questions about deliverables that they were supposed to receive, or questions about things that you're offering in the bot, frequently asked questions that people ask you all the time in your business. If you take the time and think about all of these things and pre-write out what your responses are, and then connect that to the keywords in your bot, you'll be Johnny on the spot. You'll Johnny or Jane or Penelope. I don't know. Anyway, you'll establish trust with people, and that's what really these conversations are all about. Establishing trust so that you can build upon that relationship, whether that be a business relationship, maybe a transaction will take place, maybe referrals, maybe collaboration. You're opening up your world to a community. You're building a community of people that will be there for you. If you treat them right, they will treat you right. That's been my experience anyway. Very good. Okay. Any more questions? That was kind of a short guy topic, everybody. Usually they go on a little bit longer than that, but this one was really highly technical. I was directing you to a lot of places on the ManyChat interface, and so I wanted to kind of keep it a little bit less than usual, because when I fire hose you like that, I know it's sometimes difficult to visualize if it's not right in front of you on your computer. So very good. Now, I do have a piece of news. That piece of news is this. That bot shop that I have been working on putting together for everybody is that one is going to be, everybody's been getting on a wait list. The bot shop, by the way, if you don't know about it, it is a 3-hour long experience. It's being held next week on Thursday night, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, and we'd be 5 o'clock on the West Coast. And it's going to be walking through setting up, starting with ManyChat, setting up a simple reminder bot for some consistent content that you've been getting out there. It could be a reminder bot for a live stream. It could be a reminder bot for, hey, this week's episode just dropped on the podcast. Whatever kind of content you create, you can use a reminder bot. And it's a great way to just get your feet wet and start seeing how ManyChat works and the rest of the things you can do with it. So I'll teach you how to get on, how to create that reminder bot, and then how to create a few broadcasts that really do increase your engagement with the people that you're inviting into your bot. It's going to be 3 hours long, I believe. I have enough content for 3 hours. It will be recorded, and that is all going to be available to actually sign up for it. That is going to be a little bit later on today. So if you want to get on the wait list real quick, startyourbot.com. Great place to go. And yeah, that's going to be a great thing. If that goes well, I'm planning on offering one of those a month. One month we'll do reminder bots. One month we'll do welcome bots, but we'll see how this one goes. And I will report to you a little bit further from there. So very good. You know what? You're the best audience in the world. If you have any questions at all about bots, just drop them in the comments. I'll wait a couple minutes here and then I'll start to wind down if there are no more questions. But we're also doing, 5 days live. Whoa, that thing is off the hook. We've been doing 5 days live here. This is day number 4. So tomorrow we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna talk about camera confidence and planning. We're gonna rerun by those topics because they are so important to people. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the 5 days live experience. We're going to talk a little bit about, what has happened so far, and is this a successful venture? How are we measuring that? So we're going to talk about, how well it's done, and possibly some plans for the future. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, you can't hold me to that, right? What's the cost of the class? Sure, I would mention all the details and not the cost, right? It's $97 for 3 hours of me. You'll walk away with a ManyChat account that you've set up. You'll walk away with a reminder bot, and you'll walk away with some broadcasts that you'll be able to send out to people to remind them, to come to whatever content you're creating out there. So it's going to be a good time. I'll also answer questions and stuff as we go. So it's not going to be a 3-hour lecture because I can't stand lectures. I won't put you through one. And it's going to be a good time. Do bring your coffee, wear the comfortable shoes. It's going to be a great time. So you are all 5-day rock stars. I'll tell you, that whole thing, I just, Stephen Healy said, do you want to be a part of? And I said, yes, probably before he got it all the way out, because he has such grand and brilliant ideas about how to produce things that people are valuable to people and that they're happy to come to. So, he asked me to be a part of this. It's absolutely a no-brainer. And then to get on and see everybody's responses and people's questions, and they're so eager to learn. That's the thing I think about the community, the larger Be Live community, is that there are people who are just putting their hearts in it, and they're starting out, and they're so willing to learn, and that's the kind of people that I was born to help. So it's been some awesome shows. We're gonna have a great show tomorrow too. Hey Cheryl, good to see you, my friend. I've been seeing you around quite a bit lately. So thanks for coming to the show today. I really appreciate it. So my passion, my passion is all about honest connection. Oh, I think you're in the right place, my friend. So when I first heard bot, I thought not. I know, right? It's terribly named. Now I'm realizing it helps to start a relationship I might never have. Thank you. Hey, that's beautiful. I know, right? So you probably know as well as I do, Cheryl, people are absolutely starving for a human connection nowadays. They really are. I mean, we've kind of worked ourselves into a system where lots of people are, broadcasting and doing all of these wonderful things. But when we take the time to listen, acknowledge one another, give each other a little space and respect, and make people feel seen and heard, magical things happen. There are ways to do this within a bot that don't feel like, obviously, nobody's ever woken up in the morning and thought to themselves, I'm going to call the biggest insurance company I have, and I'm going to route myself through their automatic call response system, and it's going to be a lot of fun. No, people dread that because automatic experiences like that feel so artificial. I'm here to tell you, you can do automatic systems that do not feel artificial. They're not necessarily synonymous. So hopefully that will help you a little bit in your journey. Awesome stuff, Cheryl. Yes, we are always learning. I know, Barb. I'm telling you, the folks on that show, the folks, both the hosts and the folks that I see some of you in the audience every day, and that's the kind of stuff, like nothing. As much as some people would love for you to believe, uh, just get a couple of lights and get a webcam, and you too can, make millions. As much as some people would want to believe, would have you believe that it's really an easy experience, nothing of value really does come for free. And we know that. And I see a lot of people working hard to produce some quality stuff. I can't wait to see what the folks who are learning right now bring to pass in the next couple of months. I can't wait to see it. I think we're heading toward a really great spot for broadcasting. I think that a lot of people that I really just love and respect are in the right place to help people along, because it's the rising tide thing. So I've gotten off on a tangent, which never happens. It always happens. All right, very good. So if you have time tomorrow, stop by and see us on 5 days live. It's going to be the last day. We're going to cover some tidbits that have yet to be uncovered, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the experience, which if you're new, it might be great to kind of learn from. This is what happens when you put on, a 5-day experience, because I know a lot of people are interested in doing live summits and all that kind of thing as well. So stop by, see us, ask all the questions you have, because we love questions. The 8 of us love questions. And yeah, that's all that I have right now. So if you're interested in that class, the bot shop is what I'm calling it. If you're interested in the bot shop, go to startyourbot.com. Spinning Dragon will help you out. If you'd like to get live reminders for my shows, boop, that's why I put that in the frame, because sometimes I forget to say. Just type in live in the comments, and Spinning Dragon will help you out with reminders to the shows. And if you want to, stop by tomorrow and see us. Stop by tomorrow at the 5 days live. It'll be cross posted on this page. It's the Be Live in 5 page, and people that are putting it on. So thank you for being with me today. I appreciate you. If you ever want to talk about bots, you know who to come talk to, because I love talking about bots and I almost can't stop. So that's all I have for you today, my friends, and I will see you in a bot.